Hey everybody, David Breedlove back. This is another episode of Recovery and Riches, and in today's episode, I'm going to share with you guys 3 business ideas that I've been working on so that I can start learning them now in order to earn from them in the very near future. Okay, so please like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you like the content, please leave a comment down below. If there's anything that you guys want questions on or anything like that, I appreciate the feedback. It goes a long way when you're trying to build a YouTube channel. So thank you again for liking and supporting, and let's get back into this episode, okay?
We went from rags to riches, rags to riches. We went from rags to riches. Look at how far we come, and to think it's the beginning, yet we're far from done. We didn't make it as a scholar, but we're far from dumb. And ain't nobody wanna see us, we're too far to run. Yo, to think we were chilling in bandos with dirt on our shirt, kinda looking like camo. Whole rack full of shoes, and before it was sandals. Got lights in the crib, so no more burning candles. I remember taking a bus, living in the ghetto, thank God it just never stuck. Now we pushing even harder, no longer rely on luck. Went from bags up in the arms, some keys to go start the truck. Homie, we never taking a break, time is wasted.
So, like I said, in today's episode, I want to talk about 3 different business opportunities. And, one thing I found from searching a lot of these opportunities on YouTube and stuff like that of like business ideas for the 2020 is most of the time people are talking about business ideas like they're saying, oh, build a course or, start teaching people different business strategies and stuff like that. And that's all fine and good. But at the end of the day, like those things take a long time to set up. I mean, take it from me, like I have a course built and it took me about 4 months to finalize the course. But, it's not just building a course. Then you have to figure out ways of getting traffic to the course, getting people to go through the course, getting feedback on the course so that you can optimize it. Also, there's other things like becoming, an expert in, this field, or if you're in gym, become an expert in that and be able to start building a business. They make it seem like you can start doing these things right now and you're going to be making money from it in a month. And in reality, those things can take months to years to not only start making money with, but ultimately just to even get your product and your game plan of how you're going to market this product out and ready to go. So, in my mind, it's not a very good pitch to somebody that is coming across your video on YouTube to say, oh, just go out right now and you can build a course, or you can start teaching somebody how to become, a business strategist or whatever. Listen, I've been working in this field for a long time now, and it is not that easy. Okay. There's a lot of moving properties into it. And ultimately it comes down to like having a very good team of people. But if you want to do that route, so just to put this out before we get into what I want to talk about, if you want to do that route, what I would suggest is that you get with a mentor and have somebody that's going to guide you through the process, because really what you can end up doing is spend a lot of money on courses that are just gimmicks, and you're going to spend a lot more time and money by spending more of your time on something. So in retrospect, one thing I would have done differently if I would have started back right now and I could go, hey, Dave from the past, this is what I would suggest to you in order to be more successful in your online business, is I would say save your money on your courses and get with a mentor right now. Tell them what you're looking to do and have them work with you to set up a business strategy from day one. That is by far the one thing that I would go back and do, hands down. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about, and this is something that is a very good skill, because you can sell this, but you can also utilize it in something like, what that first opportunity would be as like, hey, become some sort of online marketer, whether it's network marketing, affiliate marketing, whatever it is. I would recommend getting a book like this. This is Copywriting Secrets. And this is by Jim Edwards. This is a book I picked up about a week or two ago. And what this does is it really teaches you how to sell. Everybody's going to sell you some magic course on, done for you business or whatever. And it's going to be like, oh, you need this funnel, uh, you need this kind of ad, you need a video ad, you need what, blah, 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 all these different things. But, at the end of the day, like, being able to be somewhat of a good copywriter, which if you don't know what copywriting is basically like the words in which you use to sell a product. Okay. So, something that would be like out of this book would be, you take like yourself out of the equation, because ultimately, like, when somebody's going to buy a product from you, whatever you're selling, whether you're in construction, whether you're a painter, a lot of times novice level businessmen and women, what we do is we talk about us a lot. We talk about, well, I got into business because of this, and this is what I was going through in my life. And, at the end of the day, like, even if this person's a close friend to you, they don't really care that much about you. If somebody's going to buy from you, it's going to be based off of the benefits of what this product is going to do for them. So that is what a good copywriter learns how to do. They learn how to put themselves in the seller's shoes and look at their product and how it's going to benefit that person. So instead of talking about how, I found this amazing product and this is what it did for me, what I can turn it around and do is just talk about like how this product is going to save you time, how it's going to save you money, and how it's going to get you the results that you've been looking for, even if you've tried to do something similar in the past and you didn't get the results that you were looking for. So that is what a good copywriter does. And in this book, they give you a lot of really good templates and stuff like that to like really like pique your curiosity. But also there's some good strategies in here where you can, it tells you like how you can do your research on a product or on a field and be able to, go in and, okay, so this is the product I'm trying to promote, whether it's my construction business, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's whatever your product might be. It's going to teach you like, okay, so one place you might want to go look to do some research is go look at this product on Amazon and then read the reviews of what people are saying. And people will literally tell you in the reviews what they were looking for, what they were happy about with this product, and what they weren't happy about with this product. And those are the things that you want to be focusing on when you're trying to sell something to somebody. Okay, so that's one very good, and this is something that like you can make a lot of money on. I mean, if you can get good at writing emails or writing ads for people, maybe putting copy if they're building out a sales funnel or a web page and they need some sort of like professional copywriting in that page to help people know when and where to buy. That is something that some companies, I mean, you're talking about making anywhere from like, $100 an hour to who knows how much, depending on how good you get at it and how good you are at marketing yourself. So, but a good round number, I would say, is that you can start making close to $200 to $300 an hour with learning how to write copy. So this is a pretty good book. I'll put a link for it in the description if you want to check it out. You can actually get it for free. You'll just have to pay shipping and handling. So if you want to get that, I'll put a link for it down there. If you use my link, like I said, you'll get it for free. You'll just have to pay the shipping and handling. I think it's like $7 or something like that. So that's one for you guys. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is precious metals. So I've been into the foreign exchange market now, and that's one of the opportunities that I promote. I'm very passionate about, but it's also got me into doing research about this. And I want to go back to what I said in the beginning of this video, which is like, you need to learn to earn. Okay, so that is what business savvy people do. So say you want to become a lawyer. Well, you go to law school, you learn law, and then you earn as a lawyer. If you want to become a doctor, you go to school, you learn medicine, and then you earn as a doctor. So it's the same thing when you're talking about any sort of field. So let's talk about precious metals, because I'm going to leave Forex for the last part. But so with precious metals, basically what you're buying is you're buying actual money. So what a lot of people like to do that are investing, they're buying these metals to hold on to. You know, you're trying to pay as close to spot, but you have this precious metal, and no matter what, this metal is always going to be worth its weight. It's going to be worth its weight in gold, and it's going to be worth its weight in silver. And generally, the prices of gold and silver, they don't fluctuate very high, very low in quick increments. But usually when you're investing in actually buying the metal, you're not really buying it in order to flip it. Most people that actually buy the actual metal to have, buy it to have it. You know what I mean? It's an insurance policy, if you will. This is not buying stocks or bonds of gold. This is actually buying the actual metal. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is if you're buying gold and you're buying silver, you're hoping to pay not much more than spot for it. You know, sometimes for an ounce of silver, I'll pay, you know, a little bit over $20. And right now the spot is at like $17.80, something like that. And I think gold is, you know, maybe at like $48 a gram. So, you know, if you can pay not much more than that, that's ideal. But so what some people like to do is they'll buy the silver, and what they'll do is they'll buy the silver to buy the cheap coins, and they'll melt them down and they'll make bullion bars. And with a bullion bar, you can sell that for like, you know, somewhere around $24 plus. So you can make a little bit of money there, but that's not the metal I really want to talk about. You know, since this is the Recovery and Riches podcast, and I'm talking to a lot of people that are, you know, former addicts, and, you know, we did our thing, I want to talk about a little opportunity that I kind of saw that I don't know if it's very wild. I mean, I know there are people doing it, but there's not a lot of people doing it. And this is copper bars. Okay, so I know, friend, and I've done it too since I have a construction business. You know, I cut out copper bars and I throw them in the garage, and I let them sit until I have a couple 100 pounds if I'm lucky. And then, you know, on a rainy day, I'll take it all down to the scrap yard and I'll hopefully get $2 a pound. But usually it's not even $2 a pound. Usually it's around like $1.50 to $1.70 if you're on a good day, right? So it's not a ton of money, but when you got like 200 pounds, it's a couple extra $100 in your pocket. However, what I've recently found out is that people pay almost $15 a pound for a copper bullion bar on eBay. So if you're taking 100 pounds of copper and you're melting that down and you're selling those bars for $15 a piece, now you're looking at making substantially more money, right? You're almost like making what, like 700 or 800 times on your money, percent on your money. So, you know, instead of making $150 for, you know, what would it be, like 100 pounds? Now you're making closer to 1,500. So it's a big difference. Now, one thing I will say is that these bars aren't going to be flying off the shelf, right? They're not going to be flying off the shelf. However, they will be selling. You'll probably sell, you know, somewhere around 10 to 20 bars a month, maybe more. Maybe if you price it a little bit cheaper, since you're getting, like myself, you get copper very cheap because you're pulling it out of houses. I mean, if I have a stockpile of 200 pounds of copper, you melt that down, you make silver, or you make copper bullion bars, and you put them on, and it's a steady stream of income coming in. I mean, for the same amount of money as selling the entire stack for the 150, now you only have to sell 10 pounds to make that money. So it's a very good opportunity. Now, there is some skill level that's going to go, and probably a little bit of trial and error. You're going to have to learn how to melt copper. You can't just use any standard crucible and heating system. You definitely need something that's going to heat this metal up very, very hot, because copper melts rather at a higher heat level than, say, silver and gold. So a lot of times people, if they're melting silver and gold at their house, they'll have a smaller setup. It might be an electric setup, and it's very simple plug and play system. With copper, you might need a little bit more of an extensive one. I can't say if it will cost you a whole lot more. It might cost you somewhere around $400, maybe $300 to $400 to get your system up and going. But in the long term, if you're in a position where you are getting a hold of these metals, it's a way better opportunity than just scrapping all that copper, right? You can actually basically print your own money just by utilizing scrap metals. Now, even things like aluminum can sell for almost $10 to $11 a pound on eBay. So it's, when you're talking about the difference between scrap, I mean, you're making 10 times your money. You're making 10 times your money on scrapping aluminum, scrapping copper, or melting them down and putting them into bars. Like I said, there is going to be a little bit of trial and error in the beginning, but I would imagine by your second and your third melt, you're getting the swing of things, and things are going pretty smoothly. There is a little bit of work into buffing them and making them look clean and stuff like that. But like I said, I mean, you're printing money, basically. You're basically printing money. And from what, I mean, I watch videos on it all day long. It looks fun. We're actually in the process of getting our furnace and crucibles and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited about it. It looks like it's going to be a blast. And, we're going to start making like little bars. And for me, the opportunity more is to take this stuff that would normally be scrap, sell it, and then invest it back into higher precious metals like silver, like gold. Because right now, silver is very cheap compared to where it's been in the past. Silver is at like $17.80, I think I said, an ounce right now. Well, it was only about 5-6 years ago that silver was at $50 an ounce. So right now is a very good time to be getting involved. Now, I'm not telling anybody to go and start spending all your money on silver, but what I am saying is that you can't really go wrong with it. It's an industrial metal. It's valuable, but it's also being used. Solar and electronics, they're not going anywhere. If anything, they're getting more and more and more in demand. And so the supply for silver is going, or I'm sorry, the demand for silver is going up and up and up, but they're not really mining for it like they used to. A lot of silver mines have been abandoned. So the supply, or the demand, is going up, but the supply is not. So once we hit certain thresholds, the price of this silver is going to go up. Now, whether you choose to sell at that point, that is up to you. Me personally, I'm in it for the long haul. I want to have my security in precious metals, because at the end of the day, it is real money. Your paper US dollar is not real money. That's fiat currency. If anything, you should be using fiat currency in ways to generate more fiat currency. So, but that's a whole nother video that I'll get into. And then lastly, I want to talk about the foreign exchange market. So with foreign exchange market, this is an opportunity for, people to get involved with basically what we were just talking about, with trading these kind of funds or bonds, fiat currency, so to speak, but make money on it at the same time. Now, this is something that you are going to want to learn in order to earn. But there's very good platforms out there for you to be able to do something like that. So, it's all about getting your education, and then, like in the first thing we were talking about, getting a business coach or some sort of mentorship within the foreign exchange market is very important. But the main reason people aren't successful in the foreign exchange market is because they see that something like Bitcoin is shooting through the roof, and then they buy it high. And then as soon as it starts going down, they freak out and they sell it and they lose money. Now, that is the way most people fail in it. But that is the way that most people who are seasoned traders, or at least somewhat know what they're doing, can make money, because they know that this is going to happen. It's very similar to the real estate market where, when we're told we're in a recession, all of a sudden the values of houses start going down and people sell them at very low prices, where the people that know what they're doing, real estate investors, can't wait for this time. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I know a lot of real estate investors, and they're like literally sitting there going like this, just waiting for the next recession, because they know it's coming and they know that people are going to freak out and sell their houses for way less than they should. And that's just the difference between somebody that doesn't know what they're doing and somebody that does know what they're doing. And really, it just comes down to learning before you start earning, and what I would suggest is that you learn from somebody that's going to be able to teach you the skill, the art form of these investment opportunities, because the last thing you really want to do is get involved with something that you don't know what you're doing and you're putting out large sums of money. Now, the beautiful thing about the foreign exchange market is it doesn't really cost a lot of money. So if you're looking at it like you're going to trade gold, for example. Now, we just talked about how gold is at like $48 a gram, which means it equates to somewhere in between $1,500 to $1,600 an ounce. An ounce of gold is roughly going for that. But in order to trade on gold, in order to trade on, say, something like Bitcoin, which I think is right now around $9,000 per Bitcoin, in order to trade on something like that, you're not actually buying the gold, and you're not actually buying the Bitcoin. So you don't have to buy a Bitcoin for $9,000, or you don't have to buy an ounce of gold for $1,500 in order to trade and make money on it. Really, all you're doing is you're betting on the market. That is what the foreign exchange market is. You're just betting on whether the market is going to go up or it's going to go down. And if you're right, you make money. And if you're wrong, you lose some money. But typically, if you have the right kind of mentorship, that's not going to happen. And what I mean by you don't have to buy an entire Bitcoin, you can literally, if Bitcoin is at $9,000, you can buy in for a couple bucks. And if the market shoots up 100 points, you make $100. That's the way it kind of works. It's not so much like, oh, I bought a Bitcoin and now I have to wait months for it to go up a few $1,000s for me to make money. That's a different type of thing. That's very similar to me buying an ounce of silver and waiting for it to go up to $100 an ounce and then trying to sell it. That's a different scenario. That's more of investing in the precious metal, investing in the actual coin itself. The foreign exchange market is you're literally just betting on whether the market is going to go in your favor or if it's going to go the opposite way. And as long as you're right, you can make money and you can pull out and you can sell and all that kind of stuff. But it's very simple, and it's also a trade that you can learn for not that much money, utilizing something like a network marketing opportunity or finding somebody that knows what they're talking about and will take you on as a student. And hopefully they're not going to charge you an arm and a leg to do that. But, that's neither here or there. Regardless, the one that I'm in is a foreign exchange opportunity, and it's also a network marketing opportunity. But that may not be the best opportunity for you. But I want to give everybody that from now on, I've decided that on my podcast, I'm going to be giving a gift away to anybody that watches. If you decide that you want to, learn more about how you can turn your life around financially, because ultimately this is about how recovering people that, maybe have work themselves into a situation where it may not be easy for you to get that leg up in life anymore. Maybe you've burned a couple bridges, maybe you have a criminal history, whatever the case is. I don't judge, I've been there. So, but what I've found is that there's a lot of opportunities for somebody like myself to go out and change my financial circumstances just by applying some simple principles in my life. So I put together a book, and it's called Recovering from the 9 to 5, and it's how I relate network marketing and online digital marketing to the 12 steps of recovery. But it also has different strategies in there, and basically I talk about copywriting skills and how you can work on being an attractive prospector or whatever for your opportunity, whatever that is. I also talk about how to pick a good opportunity, because I don't want people getting involved in a business opportunity, spending 3, 4, 5 months, maybe a couple years, and not really making any money because it's just not the right opportunity for them. A lot of times we get involved into a company, and it might be the first company that we got involved in, so we spend our time and we really, really want to make it work. But maybe that's just not the right opportunity for you. And I give you a little blueprint on how you define what a good opportunity is. So I'm going to be putting a link for my book in the description of this video as well. And please, like I said in the beginning, if you found some value out of this, I don't ask for money. What I do ask for is just that you like, you share, you subscribe, you leave me a comment, you let me know what you took from the video, or something maybe I can improve on, or maybe just something else that you'd like to learn more about, so that I can address it in a future video for you guys to make sure that I'm giving you all the information and all the content that you need to level up to the next level in life. Once again, my name is David Breedlove. Thank you so much for hopping on the podcast. I'll see you next time.
We went from rags to riches. Look at how far we come, and to think it's the beginning, yeah, we're far from done. We didn't make it as a scholar, but we're far from dumb, and ain't nobody wanna see us, we're too far to run. Yo, to think we were chilling in bandos with dirt on our shirt, kinda looking like camo, whole rack full of shoes, and before it was sandals. Got lights in the crib, so no more burning candles. I remember taking a bus, living in the ghetto, thank God it just never stuck. Now we pushing even harder, no longer rely on luck. Went from bags up in the arm to some keys to go start the truck. Homie, we never taking a break. Time is wasted being funny, go get it for heaven's sake. And if you ever losing focus, the street will elaborate. It's problematic for the addict, be savage and never wait. Homie, don't worry, we're counting blessings. The future is more than a Smith & Wesson. So come to the studio, catch a session, like winning took care of the old depression. We went from rags to riches, rags to riches. We went from rags to riches. We went from rags to riches. She got us living in the crib when we came from bridges.